All right, folks, the government says its number one job is to keep us safe. But if that's true, then why are our borders wide open? Asylum hotels turning up suspected terrorists and the army building attack submarines while Brits freeze or queue for food banks. On X, formerly Twitter, 10 Downing Street post, the first duty of government is to keep people safe. Here's the problem. They're failing at the one thing they claim is their first duty. Let's call it what it is. We've got illegal crossings at a record high, suspected terrorists housed in hotels, and a government throwing money at bombs while families can't afford the basics, and they didn't even tell Parliament. If this is what safety looks like, we'd hate to see what failure is. Just days ago, 5 Iranian nationals were arrested in London. Terror suspects, one of them believed to have arrived in Britain via a small boat before claiming asylum. That same weekend, 1,195 people crossed the channel in 19 boats in one day. And here's the kicker. If even one illegal or unvetted migrant harms a citizen, that's a direct failure of government. Their own words, their own duty. We've got no surveillance on illegal entrants, but we've got billions for submarines. Keir, Starmer and Reeves say military spending is their plan for economic growth. They're calling it investment. Economists are calling it military Keynesianism, the idea that building weapons boosts jobs and growth. But here's the dark truth from world-renowned economist Yanis Varoufakis. This worked under Hitler. He built tanks, filled warehouses and then had to empty them by starting a war. Same trick, different century, and let's be real, Britain doesn't have America's dollar printing machine. We've got the pound, rising debt, and a chancellor slashing disability support to make the books look right. And here's the part they didn't want you to know. The government didn't even announce this plan in Parliament. No, Keir Starmer flew to Glasgow, made his press statements, and left MPs in the dark.
This morning, the government published the Strategic Defence Review. The Prime Minister made a speech and held a press conference in Glasgow, in addition to other media appearances. This follows several days of media briefing. I'm disappointed once again the government appears to have breached the principle set out in paragraph 9.1 of the Ministerial Code. That, when a Parliament is in session, the most important announcements of government policy should be made in the first instance in Parliament. This shows complete disregard for the House and for the honourable members. I note that ministers, when they were in opposition, were not slow to complain when the previous government made major policy announcements outside Parliament. It's amazing in opposition how everything should be discussed on the floor of the House. But when in government, memories are short on that fact.
The Speaker of the House was livid, calling it a blatant breach of the Ministerial Code. A rule that says major policy changes must be announced to Parliament first, not Sky News. This shows complete disregard for MPs. Ministers should be ashamed I'm the one enforcing their own code. So not only are they throwing billions into the defence industry, they're doing it behind your back, behind your elected MP's back. And they used to criticise the Tories for doing the same thing. So what happens when the bombs don't drop? Simple. You either start a war to justify the military spending or cut schools, hospitals and the NHS to keep the tanks rolling. That's not economic growth. That's a war economy dressed up as patriotism. And according to Varoufakis, Starmer is lying through his teeth. His plan is hot air. It's built on nothing. Let's call it what it is. We've got illegal crossings at a record high. suspected terrorists housed in hotels, and a government throwing money at bombs while families can't afford the basics, and they didn't even tell Parliament. If this is what safety looks like, we'd hate to see what failure is. Drop your thoughts below. Is Labour leading us to growth or gearing up for something much darker? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to Yorkshire 24. Straight talk, no spin.